Okay, so I'm hoping you guys can't see my taco meat in this shirt because I'm giving y'all chest. What's up everybody, it's me Troi and I'm back again with another video today, and I want to say thanks to all of you beautiful girls and you beautiful handsome guys who has clicked on this video to watch me go crazy. Anyway, this is a Creatures of the Night tag. I was tagged by Janie at Bookworms Buddies. Janie, thank you so much for tagging me. You know, girl, let me just tell you this right now. I don't use Twitter a lot. She hit me up on Twitter with this tag and I am so appreciative. I wish I used Twitter a lot more, but you know, outside of BookTube and sort of like writers and publishers and that sort of thing, the people that probably know me in real life, they're just lurking and why y'all gotta be lurking on my Twitter page and then be trying to look at my videos and stuff and lurk? Say hi. Anyway, like I said, this is the Creatures of the Night tag, and you can get Janie's information down in the comments or the description section below, and that of course will let you lead on into finding out who the original creator of this tag was. So Creatures of the Night tag is basically taking monsters and relating them to books that contain these monsters. So the first creature that is ready to be discussed is vampires. Now when I think of vampires, you know, girl, I'm not thinking about the Anita Blake series. If you know my feelings on that, then you need to watch my Cycle 1 video. But I did choose Buffy, of course. You can't miss it. Vampire. No, but anyway, I absolutely love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've been watching Buffy since I was 14 when she very first aired. Yes, girl, that first day in March of 1997, I was on my Buffy, girl. I know that's doing too much, but you know what I'm trying to say. That's just showing my love. But along with the TV show, they of course had these TV show tie-in books. Now these books, they were not canon material to the Buffyverse, but they were approved. They were storylines that were approved by the producers and the creator of the show. So you know, there's more Buffy, and I chose Child of the Hunt because this was my very first Buffy TV show tie-in book. I bought this when I was 15. It was right around the time when season 3 was airing, and I have a really funny memory of this book because as I was reading this book during that time, I was at one of my cousin's birthday parties. I think she was turning 7 or 8, but anyway, she was having the party at Chuck E. Cheese, and girl, let me tell you, I was the kid in the booth with my book like this, girl. I was like, yes, Buffy. Ooh, Willow, girl. I was like, yeah, Willow in here too. All right. Oh, there go Angel. Yes, so all the kids, including kids my age at that time, were all trying to get tickets to get their little, you know, the hula hoops and stuff out of the little glass counter. I was reading my Buffy book. And everybody was like, what are you doing? It's like, I love Buffy. I don't want to play. I want to read Buffy. Almost always following the subject of vampires, you're going to have werewolves. And of course, I chose this book, which is Bad Blood by L.A. Banks. It's the first book in her Crimson Moon werewolf paranormal series. Now, many of you know that L.A. Banks has passed back in 2012. She was a black sci-fi paranormal romance, urban fiction, crime fiction, black contemporary romance novel writer. She had a lot of titles underneath her publishing belt, but like I said, she passed away a couple years ago, and she was mostly known for her Vampire Huntress series, which I will get to later on in this video. But she did have a second series and a third, which I'll get to also. But pull it back, her second series was the Crimson Moon series, and the very first book in that series was Bad Blood. Now, I really did like this series. I did not get through it yet. I didn't finish it yet. I got to maybe the third book, and then I kind of just, I don't know, my interest kind of went somewhere else. And hopefully, I really do want to dedicate my time to finishing this series because I did enjoy it for the most part, but I think it will need a new rereading. Anyway, the series is about a woman named Sasha. She is a woman of color. I think her heritage stretched to Native American, and then there was some talk about her being Creole as well. But what's really interesting about her is that she's a special ops soldier for the U.S. government. So she goes on special op missions, you know, special operation missions. And those special operation missions usually, that's a tongue twister, usually revolve around the paranormal. So there's like a branch of paranormal, you know, people, you know, working for the government. Her particular situation is that she has the ability to turn into a werewolf, and really I don't even want to say a werewolf because that were with wolves, you know, that would imply that she's some kind of, you know, unchained, not unchained, but unchained maniac creature. However, the truth is that as far as I can remember, her ability to change into a wolf had more to do with something a lot more mystical and esoteric regarding her Native American roots. I might be wrong. It's been since 2008 since I read this book. Now, one of my favorite creatures of the night is zombies. Yeah. I chose Tanana Reeves Dew and her husband Steve Barnes's Devil's Wake. Now, this is the first book in their zombie apocalyptic series. You know me and my words, girl. Like I got dentures. I absolutely love this series. It is only 2 books at this moment. Unfortunately, I wish, girl, I don't want to start cussing nobody out, but they need to come up with the 3rd book, because I did enjoy this book, and I enjoyed it in particular because it did contain a lot of people of color. You know, we have the African American, the Latino, you know, being the heroes of the story, you know. So I absolutely love the series in that regard just alone, and I thought it was very important that I pointed this book out on this particular tag, because I could have went with Sale for Stephen King, because there was a character in there that I liked too, but I said, you know what, we're gonna give this to Tanana Reeves Dew and her husband Steve Barnes. So if you love zombie thrillers, then please pick this series up, because girl, maybe if they'll get a new check with a whole bunch of zeros in it, and they'll be like, okay, well, we need to get the 3rd book, that'll help me out. Now, one of my favorite subjects, as you guys know, is ghosts, and I chose Christopher Pike's Remember Me. First, Christopher Pike is one of my favorite YA authors. You know, YA in my generation, it was completely different than what it is now. Like, for us, YA was Christopher Pike and R.L. Stine. We used to trade YA, these books. In middle school, we used to trade these books like Pokemon cards or something. But I chose Remember Me because it's about a girl, a teenage girl who was murdered by one of her friends, and her ghost decides to, you know, come back and try to, you know, resolve her murder. And that's it. That's all. She's a ghost. She's coming back to solve her murder. So following ghosts, we're gonna have witches, and I chose Diana Trigardi's, is that her last name, Trigardi's investigations. Anyway, this is a paranormal series that was written by Mercedes Lackey. It was written in the 80s. It takes place in the 80s. Now, as you know, Mercedes Lackey does not finish series if it's not, she doesn't finish any series if it's not making her any money. And unfortunately, that was the case with this series, as it stopped at 3 books. But luckily for me, I have all 3 of the books inside of this big ass book here, and I'm so happy I have it. I wouldn't give this book away for nothing. Just I just love the cover anyway. But Diana Trigard, you know, her me and my words, she is what they call a guardian. This gives her these abilities. As a guardian, she has to use those abilities to stop evil, and that would be evil in the form of other witches, other vampires, and you know, her job is to protect innocent people from these things. I thought it was an interesting series because it combined, you know, the whole hard-boiled detectiveness with the paranormal. So I really did enjoy this, and if there's going to be anything about witches that I would love to pick back up and read, it would have to be this series.